We're forced to pick a hero that was way out of the metagame for the better part of a year now. Welcome to game number 1.
Let's see how it's going to go. There was a lot of talk about how fast now that the YSS can clear. We'll see it, but kind of a greedy setup here. It's a double core with Zeno and Prime Marigod both playing marksman. And we know YSS to be a hybrid marksman assassin on his side there. See how this is going to play out. The Philippines aren't careful though. Colombia could run away with it in the mid to the late game.
If they make it.
If they make it,
because you mentioned the double core setup. Not to mention, 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐅 kind of wants to get some farm on him as well. It's not like the Valentina is as low to the ground as a roamer or even a tanky XP laner. Here we see a scrum already to jump in by 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐄𝐅. Fountain ball, keeping them in. That's the Little Wanderer scored by 𝐈𝐄𝐒. Happy to be here. Now jumping in, knocks up Marigod and pushes him right out of that scaled lizard.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about here. The tanky jungler up against a marksman assassin hybrid. They are happy to just go into the jungle, get info. They're not going to commit it, so they're going to go around, but that is something Colombia needs to watch out for. Philippines going into the jungle.
Finds 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐅, another one. Mount Shocker keeping 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐄 at bay. And with that big resource spent by Colombia, because they're not going to be able to use it when the turtle comes up in about 15 seconds.
Yeah, and in the bottom lane, you actually saw... Oh, 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐄𝐅! I was just about to say that Prime Marigod was brought low because of 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐄𝐅 and 𝐈𝐄𝐒, but 𝐈𝐿𝐿 gets the first kill of the game, and this is not the start you want to have in a double core setup for Colombia.
2-time SEA Games gold medalist, was playing the game ever since the MLBB esports was established, and here he is live from Romania showing everybody how it's done. Team Philippines first to the scene here, pulling the turtle out and just as quickly taking it. Well, what's going on? Is this 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐄𝐅? Is this 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐅 on Prime Marigod?
Yeah, he's just there in the orange buff. He pushed him out. Not the hottest start here for the Isan Shin, and similar to what we saw in game number 1 of Indonesia, they know the Philippines that they can just continue this, that they can just mess up this YSS.
Ain't nothing but a thing. And now they're going to try to sandwich him. Enzo, or rather Ito de Nazaret, drawing a line between Colombia and Team Philippines. Sending 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐄 home. All right, so count your blessings, right? At least you were able to save yourself a jungle dive and then buy time and, I don't know, open up the map here for the gold lane? Because, look, they're sending 𝐸queteano way back behind tier 1.
Yeah, and it's a scary game right now for Prime Marigod. It seems like for the majority of the game, he's just been staring into the edge of oblivion right now. And another one by 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐄!
And there's a Astral Echo, 3v4 waiting to happen. Make that a 4v4 coming in. An Astral Echo from Colombia, thrown out themselves. There's not enough damage. Both teams call it out. Delta split.
Big bulwark there by Chifu, actually blocking the astral recall of 𝐈𝐿𝐿. Would have been bad for Colombia because that would have forced them to go back to base so that they could regen, but now at the bottom side, there's going to be a play called by the Philippines, 3 versus 2.
Oh, Chifu's very low, and the jump in. 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐄 misses by about an inch or 2, and they disengage. 𝐸queteano gets a maximum range, torn apart memory as he tears Chifu a new one. And he keeps Zeno right at bay, a knockup from 𝐈𝐿𝐿, and a bonk! Appraiser's Rat, not enough damage.
Didn't have the damage just yet, and because of the ultimate of the YSS, 𝐸queteano, who was already low, gets taken out by Colombia. So 𝐸queteano's, I wouldn't call it greedy. He got something out of there, but it hurts just to see for the Philippines that you see that there's a death onto 𝐸queteano, and Zeno is now sort of like laughing to himself like, I still have 0 death. You got taken out.
He can't even actually get away with it because of Mount Shocker. Now another big fight. Prime Marigod secures the turtle, and you see 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐄𝐅 just dancing around. Big black dragon keeping Philippines at bay. And Team Colombia, they're happy with what they got out there. There was no possibility for them to have actually gotten that turtle if it wasn't for that scrub, if it wasn't for that long, drawn-out fight that led to nothing.
Despite the rough start here of Prime Marigod and Colombia, they have now kept it close. Still pressure onto the purple side here of Colombia from the Philippines. But the Philippines cannot just run away with this just yet. See there, just helping out their jungler, 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐄. Might get caught out here, Chifu. Looking into 𝐈𝐿𝐿, 𝐸queteano there as well. So, information right now, and actually a solo kill by Eto de Nazareth onto Canon on the top side. Terizla taking out that 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐅. Seems like a little bit of an overextension there, or a miscalculation by Canon to take that 1v1 duel, but I think it also really greatly helps the global presence of the ultimate of the 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐅, helping out in the damage output to make sure that if you are in an unfavorable 1v1, well, you can get it.
And because of this whole situation, the past couple of minutes of Colombia-Philippines trading, they've opened up the map. Up top, 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐅 gets caught out with a full combo from 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐅, able to flicker on out of there, saves himself, and 𝐈𝐄𝐄.
Whoa. 𝐈𝐄𝐄 able to flicker out of there just in time. And Colombia are responding to everything that the Philippines are throwing to the table. So now, it seems like 𝐈𝐄𝐄 and the rest of Philippines might actually need to pick their fights a little bit better, because right now we've just been seeing them trying to up the tempo here, rightfully so, but it might not be at the targets that they'd want to go for. That was an attempt to try and take down the roamer who was so close to under tower. Yeah. They were able to take the flicker away from him, but then you're also out of resources yourself. You don't have the ultimate just yet with the turtle about to spawn.
All right, you're saying all of this, and this has given me time and direction to say, you know, what's going on with the Philippines? Because they haven't even spent any of their battle spells, nor have they spent their ults. So something tells me they're playing the long game. Oh no, here's a big fight near the river bush. 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐅 thrown out, Numinum Blast as well. Big 5-man squad from Colombia coming in. Black Dragon form from Canon. Turtle very low. Out of 10 of his health, 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐅 gets the retribution. And he bonks all of them. Primary God falls. 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐅 gets the kill. And Canon survives with just sliver of health. 𝐈𝐄𝐻 taken down. 2 for none so far. Make it 3. 2K for bulletproof Marco. As Team Philippines continues to crack down on Colombia, retreating underneath tier 2. And they're not done. 𝐈𝐄𝐻 once more. 𝐈𝐶hifu walks away.
A massive win by the Philippines, taking out the turtle and getting 3. We're talking about the long game. Just before that, suddenly Philippines said, let's make the game and let's play it now. They get a massive win. They take down the turret in mid. So what was Colombia's great play to keep the game close, if they're not careful, can slip out of their hands here. One more major loss would mean that going into the mid to the late game, Philippines will have the lead. But 𝐈𝐄𝐻 might get caught out here by the members of Colombia.
He's got some backup. There's Canon and 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐅 at his flank. It looks like he's going to get away scot-free. And just like that, look at Canon playing footsies with Eto de Nazareth. And here comes 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐅 one more time. Catches 2 with the combo. Canon coming in, Black Dragon form from the west. Finding 𝐈𝐶hifu. Can he stop him? The bulwark ain't gonna save you. Canon gets 1. 2 for free going over to Team Philippines.
The energy shield will not stop the Dragon Tail. Philippines have upped the tempo. Now that they have more items, now that they have more damage, those setups by 𝐈𝐄𝐄 are finally paying off here. And this is what we were talking about going into this game. This might be another star performance by 𝐈𝐄𝐄, and so far it is. He has been the catalyst for Team Philippines.
He does not disappoint. One thing we can note about Colombia is they know how to find where resources are. And after Team Philippines picked up the tempo, Colombia actually switched up themselves. They stepped on the clutch and said, you know what, we can't get away with what we were doing before, right? Yeah. 𝐈𝐶hifu, you gotta get better at finding your Numinal Blast. And no, 𝐈𝐄𝐄 catches him in the off tempo. He knows how to dance.
Oh!
𝐈𝐄𝐄, the answer back from 𝐈𝐿𝐻𝐻. 𝐈𝐶hifu falls. The penalty
Nazareth
zone coming in from Nazareth. Not enough damage just yet, but here comes Zeno! Taking down Canon.
𝐈𝐶hifu is now holding on to the Lord as Colombia are close enough to contest it, to maybe even steal it from under the noses of the Philippines. It's 4v4. 𝐈𝐶hifu spots out the other members. Colombia do not have their roamer. They do not have a tanker front line, but they have a lot of damage. Oh, but the Terizla's there. And Eto de Nazareth seems like he's enough. No one's gonna fully commit just yet. Will we get a reset?
All right, there's not enough O's in Lord or Canon, but I'll allow it.
Yeah.
We'll let it happen here. Lord, you have 30 health, and now 𝐈𝐶hifu can only watch. Here comes the rest of Colombia. It's a 5-man effort, but 𝐈𝐶hifu still steals it at the cost of
𝐈𝐄𝐄!
but his life. Down he goes. The 𝐈𝐿𝐻𝐻 takes him down. Canon dancing around this crowd. 𝐈𝐄𝐄 goes down. 2 for none so far the exchange. Colombia happy to see this, except Marigold falls. Now 𝐈𝐶hifu flickers on out of here as the 𝐈𝐿𝐻𝐻 goes ahead and Black Dragon forms his way.
Oh!
Safety! But 𝐈𝐄𝐄 says, thou shall not walk away from this scot-free as he throws out an Astral Media.
The Archangel descended from the heavens and like a devil sniping down Chifu from a distance. What a read by 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐅. But we've been seeing a trend. Philippines have been winning fights. 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐅 has been playing a star performance on this 𝐈𝐄𝐅. But Colombia, because of their double core, we've been seeing it. If you cannot take Primary God and Zeno out of their comfort zone, don't stop them from being able to free hit. Colombia has the tools, even with a 5K, close to 5K deficit, to turn a fight around. That's something Philippines needs to watch out for. Because this is the sort of gambit that Colombia is going for with the lineup.
Cancels Chifu's Numenon Blast, and now they're forced to fight. Astral comes in with the pull, and the Appraiser's Wrath. See value in me. You should, says Saison, and now it's all falling apart as 2 fall. 2K goes over to the jungler from Team Philippines as turrets fall as well. Mid and top, it's like Lord of the Rings up in here.
𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐅 from out of nowhere with that step back. It was a step back flicker Tyrant's Rage.
It's a Euro combo.
A Euro combo. Euro stepping all the way from Romania. And look at the damage from 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐅.
They don't have minions though, so they can't overstay their welcome. They'll have to bide their time and temper their steel as they try to go for a penetration. And 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐼𝐄𝐒𝐄𝐒 felt that.
𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐼𝐄𝐒 forcing to get back there. Saison able to get out from the potential penalty zone catch that 𝐈𝐄𝐒 de Nazareth would have set up for Colombia. So now Philippines are in the lead. We still have to watch out again for the condition that we mentioned, but Philippines has a lot more wiggle room for errors in team fight. A little bit more wiggle room to not just fully commit right away and try to look for the Irithel and the 𝐸 right away. It's sort of like they can fight. Okay, they're free hitting us, but it's fine. Because we're going to be able to take down their frontliners and then they'll be forced to retreat anyway.
And it's that, how do I say, confidence, conviction into team fights that have allowed Colombia to, how do I say, even put anything on the board up against Team Philippines. Because if you remember, in that last Lord fight, if only Colombia was able to Retribution the Lord, that would have been all them. But it's just, I don't know, Saison just knows what to do, even in such dire situations. Dude, that was a 1v5.
Yeah, 1v5, taking the Lord. Classic Saison things. So now Colombia are actually making the right call here to try and push the bottom lane instead. So they're sending their marksmen so that they can push faster. YSS will not get hits there onto the turret. The Irithel will go back right away. Colombia are trying to play it safe for their cores here.
Oh man, they could have spent a second or two longer there. Canon wouldn't have punished, not as hard.
Yeah.
They could have taken down tier 1.
I think Colombia was more worried about the potential of the rest of Team Philippines just jumping on their heads.
Yeah, no, but then again, hindsight 2020, we see the mini-map. I guess Colombia's just playing it safe.
Yeah, they were playing it safe because now here is the threat. The Lord marching down. 9,000 is the gold deficit. Philippines have the tools to end it here, but again, Colombia might just be able to hold on.
Look at this well-synchronized push coming in from Team Philippines. Mid has fallen. Bottom might be next unless Zeno has something to say. Top has fallen as well. It's just one last bastion. Colombia's final base turret. Here comes Chifu setting up a Numenon Blast. No one home. But just the same, they are in defense mode. Colombia trying to clean up house, trying to make sure that they live to see another day.
Without the ultimate of the Lolita up, that's a good sign for the Philippines to just try to force a dive under turret. There's a lot of info coming in from the Novaria.
In goes 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐼𝐄𝐒, finds 2 behind the base. 2 Black Dragons on the scene, folks. And Colombia takes down 1. Canon falls, the first casualty in this big fight. Now, 𝐈𝐄𝐒 de Nazareth falls as well. Zeno looking for damage. In comes 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐼𝐄𝐒 one more time. The bonk from Saison, forcing back members of Colombia. The Mountain Shocker, making sure that Colombia knows exactly where Team Philippines are. And they're still going. But just like that, both teams actually survive with 4 members apiece.
That got really scrappy there for both teams. Looked like, at some point it looked like they were gonna knock each other out.
Both at the same time.
At the exact same time, but they only both lose 1 member. both teams, just a lot of micro maneuvers were seen there. A lot of side steps. 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐅 popping the immortality of 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐅 with somehow being able to thread the needle with an astral recall. What a team fight right under the base turret.
Can I just say, in that one moment, I can say, man, Colombians know how to dance.
They know how to dance.
That is a defense if I've ever seen one.
That was a spicy dance.
Oh, wait, let's see. 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐅, does he know there's 3 here?
So tanky.
And yeah, he's playing with fire, but he does have an immortality, if I'm not mistaken. Goes for another one. Appraiser's Wrath, still not done. Gets the knock up, very low. 𝐈𝐄𝐒 charges it up, but Zeno falls oh so quickly. Eto de Nazareth follows up, traded 4 by Canon. 2 for 1 so far, the exchange. Philippines happy with this as they send Colombia back.
It was a trap. It was a trap. 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐅 was just like, go ahead, hit me. Yeah, I'm gonna hit them. The rest of the Philippines finally answered and said, thanks for the time that you bought and the opportunity to get those 2 big kills. That's just a clear evidence of how massive the gap is. 𝐈𝐄𝐼 got to stand there for so long.
Colossal.
He was a colossus there. Zeno was peppering him with everything.
Is that not just a moment of brotherly mischief? You could have sworn, man. It's like 𝐈𝐄𝐼 was playing a little contest with his brother. All right, I bet I can get it.
Yeah, I'm going to get the last hit here. I was seeing there trying to get the last hit of that purple buff. We're going to go into a pause here. So far, we are seeing the Philippines in the lead. 10,000 is the goal difference.
Huge.
What was a controlled effort by Colombia for the early game. Suddenly, here comes a string of
but say what you will, the Colombians know how to make good of a bad situation.
Just like that.
They can dance. Can confirm. All right. If credit where credit is due, if this is 𝐈𝐄𝐒𝐅's greatest hits showcase as a 𝐈𝐄𝐅, this is the Colombians listening to this final boss music, right? You know, when you're playing video games, like, you know it's final boss music.
Yeah. I'm terrified, but this is fire.
Exactly, that's what they're doing. That's what I'm seeing from Colombia here, and paint me impressed. I'm enjoying what they're doing here because, specifically, in that last moment, let's throw back to it, right? 𝐈𝐄𝐻, he knew, I'm not so sure if it was a heat of the moment kind of situation or he very tactically and strategically picked up the Black Dragon form that may as well almost single-handedly bought the defense for him. He was dancing around the enemies, dancing around the minions, like, I got this, guys, don't worry.
Yeah, and those little micro knockbacks and stuns will throw off your team fighting out of your game. Even though it's so small, at that point, since they're all fighting under the base, those little moments that they could have been not stunned, well, suddenly it's out of your hand anymore. You're at the mercy of your opponent. So that was a nice little chat. And hopefully, you know what, I wish we could see more of that. That was an entertaining team fight. And how Colombia are trying to get back into this is entertaining to watch.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm here for it too. Despite the lineup that they have being double core, they know they have the damage, they're still fearless in their movements.
Yeah, the punish is imminent, though. I wouldn't say inevitable because, again, you are playing up against Team Philippines. This is the SEA Games 2023 gold medal winning lineup, so you can't just pull something without there being the threat of punishment. But, again, you mentioned the double core setup. If they somehow give Team Philippines a false sense of security and find them lacking and just leaning hard on this quote-unquote advantage, and somehow, man, something's got to give. Given Colombia's, I don't know, innate talent, the fact that we can see that they know what they're doing, who's to say that maybe there's also some conditioning being done on 𝐈𝐄𝐼's point, right? What if they're like, all right, one more 𝐈𝐄𝐼, I swear, we're going to find out. We're going to figure this out.
It has to be near perfect here. The play of Colombia to somehow defend and turn the fight around. We talked about it yesterday when Philippines went up against Indonesia went up against the
Ukraine.
Yeah, when the Philippines went up against the Ukraine.
That's right.
Something crazy. One crazy play to surprise the Philippines.
Loco.
Something loco here from Colombia. Let's see if they can pull it off.
All right, here comes the Lord. 17 minutes in. Mountain Shocker. So Colombia has all the information they need. Black Dragon form coming in from Canon. And look at the base, folks. It's just critical mass. Too much. Too soon. Team Philippines takes game 1.
Colombia line up on the side of the Philippines versus Another spicy approach, a little bit of throwback by the Colombians. I will honestly mark out if Colombia gets this game.
I like it.
Because
Mark out.
Yeah, mark out. Exactly.
The solution.
I love that gold lane Lilia pick before. She was my girl. I love playing the gold lane Lilia. Let's see if they can translate that to mid to late 2023 metagame.
I am not going to hide the fact that Colombia has already won my heart. So I'd like to say gracias for the game so far, regardless if we make it to game 3. All right, this is already quite the showing. Look at this, purple buff side. 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐅 already very low. 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐄𝐅, ooh, all right. See, even Team Philippines, they picked up the pace. Tell me, does this not remind you of yesterday, their series against Ukraine?
Yeah, just like that, where the Philippines, after winning game number 1, they're like, all right, let's play fast, let's end it now. And they're gonna continue that. Good thing 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐅, I don't know if that's something that he considered that, oh, I'm gonna stop walking towards this way because I don't want to get comboed, so I'm gonna get on out of here.
Well, he walks away with his life, so that's a win for most here, especially in the first minute of the game. Zeno put down about half his health. And now we're going to force out. Oh, coming in! Oh, can 𝐸𝐄𝐄𝐅 survive? Not enough damage coming in from the gold lane Lilia. Not in the minute that the game has elapsed. That was close though.
Masterful by Chifu. The flicker forward and automatically pressing that hook to lock it in.
Chifu.
Chifu. 𝐸𝐿𝐄𝐄𝐅 needs to watch out for plays like that. So does 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐄 on this room Karata, taking care of the Melissa. Primary Guard will be able to get the Skilled Lizard away from the Philippines, and 𝐸𝐿𝐄𝐄𝐅 needs to go back home. First turtle is going to spawn top side. So far, the 𝐷𝑒𝑅𝑖𝑠LA and �Ｌapu-LaPu just doing a lot of minion wave clearing in their face. Let's see who's going to hit level 4 between these two. First, looks like it's going to be 𝐸𝐿𝐄𝐄𝐅 de Nazareth.
𝐸𝐿𝐄 de Nazareth. We haven't really seen much action coming in from the XP lane matchup, right? Between the �Ｌapu-LaPu and the 𝐷𝑒𝑅𝑖𝑠LA. Literally, these two can go on forever. Between the damage reduction in the �Lapu-LaPu and the body Smith on the 𝐷𝑒𝑅𝑖𝑠LA. Here we go. They're breaking out. Penalty zone coming through. Watch the turtle. Very low. Who's going to score it? It's 𝐈𝐄𝐄 on that Grok. Interesting. We really didn't talk much about this jungle Grok going into game number 2. As perfect, as Destiny put it, gives us enough time to actually break down what's going on. Man, I got to be honest with you. In the 2 minutes and a half that this game has elapsed, I just noticed we're playing with the jungle Grok.
Yeah, it flew all over over our heads.
We were too busy marking out on the whole gold lane Lilia.
It's the gold lane Lilia. But now, looking back at it, now that you brought it up, yeah, that's what dance I did. Not the gold lane Lilia, the jungle Grok.
Yes.
Makes a lot of sense because of, again, the interaction with Power of Nature, charging it up beside a wall, and then the fact that while charge, it's great going up, knowing up that you're going up against a Theramis, Franco, and Fredrin who has loads of crowd control. That Grok, he can just commit the wild charge as a way for him to just easily secure the turtle. Similar to how 𝐸𝐿𝐄𝐄𝐅 would just use heavy spin when the turtle's almost low so that you can easily retry. Don't worry so much about getting slowed or crowd controlled so much. We do have to watch out for, though, that the Franco here really needs to be holding on to that bloody hunt and just keep looking for 𝐈𝐄𝐄. Even though he's not the main target that you want, but the fact that you can just stop the Grok from potentially knocking someone up, stunning them, would be already massive, and stopping him from committing a retribution.
There's very few targets for the Franco to actually bite down on. And that's what makes it difficult, right? That's what makes Colombia's roamer, Chifu's job harder, is because there's so many good targets, right? If you bite down on 𝐸𝐿𝐄𝐄𝐅, yes. You bite down on 𝐸𝐄𝐄𝐄, yes. You bite down on 𝐸𝐿𝐄𝐄, yes. But you really want to bite down on 𝐈𝐄𝐄.
Yeah, gonna need to stop that Grok. Primary God able to secure his purple buff without a problem. Both junglers right now across the map. On the book, 𝐸𝐄𝐄.
Knocking up Chifu, very low. Gonna pop him. 𝐸𝐄𝐄 draws first blood in the water.
𝐸𝐄𝐄 just made that look like the automatic response. Hey, you're standing there? Yeah, I'm just gonna combo on you. And that was a great play there by the Philippines. He didn't even need to commit that Petrify, so he still has that next up. Did commit the ultimate, but not that long until it comes back. Already, the Melissa just picked up the first item. Corrosion Scythe already locked in. And it seems like this relationship with Lilia and the Gold Lane, it just seems more of like damage control or potential damage control with how fast he can clear minion waves.
It looks like it's about to break out into a huge fight. They knock up Zeno, not even giving him a chance to press. Black Shoes as they take down another member. Colombia suffers a loss, 2-0 under 4 minutes.
Saison looked like he was just looking at Team Colombia and saying, call an ambulance, but not for me. Automatically turning on to Zeno. That combo, and then 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐅 was there with the response right away. Now Colombia, they're still keeping it close, but they really need to pick their fights a little bit better. Seemed like they were a bit too eager, but then at the same time, not on the same page in terms of what do we do with the Grok. We see him, but what do we do?
Yep, this is what you get when you're playing up against a dive comp, a front-to-front. Much like Team Philippines is playing, and it was set up so perfectly well, orchestrated by the idol of the kids, 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐅, 2-time SEA Games gold medalist, world champion. He's the only one that's in the back, right? But wait, we'll talk about this later, as there's one big hook coming in from Chifu, biting down on 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐅, serving up a kill over to the Zeno gold lane Lilia as we go into a pause. Most unfortunate timing, but it is what it is. We have to call for a pause when our players call for it.
And 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐅 got caught out there. So there was a response committed by Canon, actually committing the penalty zone to try and buy time so that they knew already at that point 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐅 was a goner. With so many members of Colombia there.
Mermaids up for dinner.
Exactly. But then the fact that he got to get the penalty zone, bought just a second, not a second and a half, maybe just a second, meant that there's a little bit more room for Philippines to get closer so that they can counter punish. So when we get back into here, it might actually be a double, a 2K for Colombia. Also going to take out Canon. But let's see if the Philippines will be able to get at least one, or maybe even balance that with 2 of their own. Granted that they still have a tanky presence available for them.
Yep, that's what makes this front-to-front versus the re-engage lineup of Colombia interesting. It's because you said that, right? But as we load back in, when we do resume, something tells me it's going to turn around for Team Philippines. Even if 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐅 has fallen, if I'm not mistaken, he did get the Ocean Ode off.
Yeah.
So that should have done enough damage to actually give the rest of Team Philippines enough time to finish the job.
Yeah.
But again, there's only so much I can recall from a single snapshot before the game was paused. I do not have, folks, contrary to popular belief, photographic memory.
People said that you have photographic memory?
I wish I did.
Well, let's see what the type of picture these two teams are painting as we head into the fight.
And there you go. It's a trade-off, and who took the turtle?
It was actually Team Philippines. Saison has it.
All right, so it was a trade and then eventual. All right, so the 2K didn't happen. I guess Body of Smith was enough to keep Team Philippines up.
Now, Canon, the entry with that penalty zone. Body of Smith, massive. Primary God going down, massive as well for Philippines. And now Colombia, it's like Colombia, every sequence is always so close to tasting something so sweet. A sweet victory. But Philippines is always responding, oh, but that's a solo kill. Make that a 2 versus 1.
He got ganked, man.
By 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐅 and Canon, getting that kill onto 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐅 de Nazareth up top.
Yeah, one can only imagine what kind of skills were committed, but something tells me 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐅 de Nazareth kind of saw it coming and did not respond. Didn't spend an ult, didn't even spend the flicker.
Now the Philippines with a win up top. Map has opened. Low now is Zeno.
Oh no!
Little girl going for the skips to try and survive.
Yeah,
he was there for the spawns.
Not gonna want to use Black Shoes. If he clicked Black Shoes, he would have been in a worse spot.
Yeah, he would have brought himself back to a more dangerous location.
Yep, he would have gone from back to under.
Yeah.
Prepositions.
Philippines right now. Oh, Chifu, I thought he actually got the last hit there onto the gold crab.
Needles go faster than the hook.
The needles was a little bit faster than the hook there. Big sequence here for Colombia. They might go for the Quintiano. No, Biscuity doesn't commit it. Even the primary guard was there.
What?
Oh! Gonna stop him!
That's a unique interaction there. You could have sworn he put down on the hook, but not this mermaid. And in comes Saison, hitting Marigal with a wild charge. And that's one jungler down. One member from Team Colombia as Team Philippines calls for it. Yeah, we're going to break him down here. We're going to go ahead and commit 5 members trying to go ahead and crack down on this tier 1 turret, forcing out a flicker. from 𝐿𝐄𝐄, and they're not done. There's another realm committed. Coming in with the bravest fighter. Here comes Leonel Nazaret and gets knocked up one more time. There's a wild charge!
And here comes the Philippines with a turnaround. Zeno brought low and 𝐿𝐄𝐄 with a block on the Astral Recall. It looked like because of that cool interaction with the Franco, but wait, hold that, Rizla.
Still going.
Still going, Kanon.
Kanon, 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐅, the connection. You were saying?
As I was saying, it seemed like at that moment, Colombia saw that interaction between the Kanita and the Franco and just went, oh, hey, that's, what? Oh, what, the rest of the Philippines?
That's right. Yeah. I would not put it beyond them because, again, it's one of the first few times I've actually seen that. And it can happen, folks. Apparently. I guess they just used the skill at the very perfect moment for the animation to still trigger. And no, fight continues. Zeno's very low, but not low enough to go down. He walks away with his life.
And as Colombia gets pushed back, the Philippines will be going for the turret down bottom. This Melissa has had a tremendous game so far.
And there's a hook, and you have to call it, man.
Caster's Curse.
It's real.
It's true. And 𝐿𝐿𝐄𝐄𝐅 gets taken out. Hell of a hook there by 𝐿𝐄𝐄. And that is a little bit of reprieve here for Colombia. A little bit of breathing room, knowing that, okay, we finally got a shutdown onto this Melissa. A little bit too easy has been the life of 𝐿𝐿𝐄𝐄𝐅. So now what can they get out of it? Again, this is what hurts about a lineup that doesn't have that basic attack damage that you want. This is them with a lot of spells, a lot of abilities, a lot of AoE that just need to layer onto each other perfectly for it to work. But for the Philippines, they really just need to protect their Melissa.
Yep.
If ever they can survive 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐅 de Nazaret coming in, that's it for 𝐿𝐿𝐄𝐄𝐅.
It's the Melissa that's actually keeping things in check for Team Philippines. It's the thread that binds them, all puns intended. It's because it's the only one that's really what you call a right-click hero. Everyone else needs to fit with the full combo, right? You got a penalty zone, you got the perfect Astral Recall, Astral Meteor. Speaking of, you have the full combo from Saison and 𝐈𝐄𝐄. So yeah, when all of those fail, it's 𝐿𝐿𝐄𝐅 who's actually holding down the fort. And up top, there's a lot of action going on, and they're gonna get done. Oh! 2K for 𝐿𝐿𝐄𝐅.
We were just talking about it. The Caster's Curse still strong. This time around, Philippines is the one on the positive note of it, being able to take down 2 on the side of Colombia. It's dire news for Colombia because Philippines can, yes, do exactly this. Just send Kanon to the Lord, jockey for position a little bit, and get something elsewhere. Nice minion wave pushing up top. They can sort of position around here, actually in the mid if they want to push it. But the play for the Philippines is, let's focus on the Lord.
Yep, you see here Saison and 𝐿𝐿𝐄𝐅 already posting up. And 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐅 and 𝐿𝐄𝐄 looking to punish. Penalty zone coming in. 3v1. Can Kanon survive? Make it a 4v1 and a hook. And forcing out a flicker from Kanon. Astral Echo thrown out. 𝐈𝐄𝐄 helping his ally survive. Saison pops the Lord. Took a while. And in comes 𝐿𝐿𝐄𝐅 with the Inspire. The full combo. 3 goes down just like that. 2K for the big bad Grok.
Oh, El Loco 𝐈𝐄𝐄 does it again. What a local play from the Grok. 2 days in a row now. Make it Saison rather on the Grok with that wild charge.
Man, it all happened so quickly. I barely knew what was going on. Imagine what was going on in the minds of Colombia. They were on the receiving end of this whole situation. Team Philippines now calling on the Lord, marching up top. Oh, look at this, how they've synchronized all the waves. Another Astral Echo thrown out. All members catching wind. Saison with another wild charge, point blank. Serving up a kill to 𝐷𝐿𝐄𝐅.
Seems like Saison's been taking notes from his fellow teammate 𝐈𝐄𝐄. Like, oh, I saw your performance yesterday. Can I try to emulate that? But this time as a jungler, and he is doing just that. Philippines now knocking at the doorstep of Colombia. They will have enough firepower to hold on here unless the Philippines goes for an unexpected local play to end it right here and right now.
Top lane inhibitor falls. Team Philippines have penetrated Colombia's base. That's permanent damage that Colombia have to deal with constantly. Another Astral Echo forcing out a bravest fighter coming in. 𝐿𝐄𝐄 de Nazaret just clearing up the waves, making sure that there's less for the rest of Colombia to deal with. But the Philippines are relentless. They're going to break down mid and then follow up, finally finish down bottom.
Philippines might just be 2-3 steps away from ending this series right here. See how the action unfolds.
Oh, you want to go nuts? Let's get nuts, says 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐅 de Nazareth as he flickers on through, going through the wall, forcing a go away from 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐅, and in comes Canon! Down goes Nazareth, down goes Zeno, another 𝐈𝐄𝐄𝐅, he's got these for days, and now Chifu's gonna fall, Canon gets 2K, and that's it! It's a wipeout! Team Philippines gets the sweep!
Ding, 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 ding! Ring the bell! What a victory!